Jackie Poo. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Check, check.
Hi.
Awesome.
Checking.
Hi. Yes, we are live, guys. We are live. Awesome. So, everyone, if you're tuning in tonight, this is Kidder's Comedy Corner. We're live on YouTube every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Real quick, I just want to introduce everybody that we have here. I always post everyone's information in the video at the end, so you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever they're at. I have all their stuff listed there. But real quick, let me just give you guys a little intro. Alrighty, so we have, to start, we have Brent Pella. He's a stand-up comedian based in Los Angeles and has a large online following and a ton of hilarious videos, which I can vouch for. He's garnished more than 15 He's garnished more than 50 million views online and has been featured on sites like MTV, Funny or Die, Bro Bible, and World Star Hip Hop. We also have the awesome Margot Evans with us tonight. When she's not making a ton of TikTok videos in quarantine, she's on stage dropping humor all over Southern California and produces shows in Long Beach and Los Angeles. And last but not least, we have our soldier turned professional rugby player, turned nightclub doorman, turned comedian, the very funny Dan Green. Welcome,
how's it
everyone.
going?
Awesome. So, guys, just real quick, I always do this to start. I just want to hear a 30-second elevator pitch on who you are. I just want everyone to, if they don't know you already, I want them to hear a little bit about you. But you got 30 seconds. That's all you get. And okay, so I'm gonna start it off. We'll start off with Dan Green. Let's hear it, buddy.
Okay, yeah, I'm the CEO of the Bad Decisions Club. I'm 43 years old and just started doing stand-up in LA, which means I made a lot of good calls to get to this point, which is why he listed about 7 jobs, because I had to fuck up through all of those to get to where I am now, and I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, I love it. I wouldn't be anywhere else, and yeah, I love doing stand-up. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dan. All right, let's go to Margot Evans. Let's hear a 30-second pitch.
30 seconds. I am Margot Evans. I am a comedian. Been doing comedy for about 8 years now. I produce shows here in Long Beach at the Long Beach Federal Underground. I am quarantined at this point, but I am working from home. I'm an introvert, so I love this situation right now.
Fantastic. How about you, Brent?
I'm Brent Pella, and yeah, man, I have never been drinking so much wine on a weekday afternoon than I am now. It's super fun. I'm trying to make the best of it. You know, a lot of shows got canceled. We all do stand up, and I have a little bit of a background online, so I've just been trying to double up on the internet work, and my brain is exploding, but we're still alive.
Yep. And for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Chris Kidder. I go by such a kidder because I've heard that my entire friggin' life. You're such a kidder. I hated it until about 5 years ago, where I've accepted my last name. And it's perfect because I rolled into comedy. Just about 3 years ago, I started doing a shit ton of TikTok videos. I got into it before it was trendy, and then started doing stand-up a little over a year ago. And I've been pushing hard just to get on as many shows as possible and try to get up on stage, in front of people on the mic as much as possible, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So thank you, guys. What we're going to do, everyone, if you're tuning in tonight on Kidder's Comedy Corner, we are playing a little bit of games. We're going to get to know all our comics. I'm going to be asking them a series of serious questions, and then I'm going to roll into stupid ass questions. And what those questions are is from a game called Who's Most Likely To. And they're just the most random, stupid, crazy crap you're going to hear. And the point is the comics have to fight of why they're most likely to, whatever that might be. And at the end of the day, we all need to vote on it, and I have the final say. And then at the end, whoever has the most points will have bragging rights for the next week. Yeah, so you win.
All right.
Nice.
Do it.
So yeah, so just to start, we'll do a little round robin. I'd like to know like when you started comedy, like how long you've been doing it, and when you started it. And these don't have to be long answers. They're just little short, get to know you questions. So let's start with. I'm going to start going clockwise on my screen. Let's start with Margot.
All right. So I started comedy about 8 years ago. I've always been a funny person. People have always told me that I'm naturally funny and I should be a comic. And then I didn't know how to like put the comedy together, so I found Greg Dean, comedy classes, so that I could learn how to connect the dots. And so since I've done that, I have been doing comedy all over. I love it. Um, People love me, which is great. Yeah. So I just learned how to put that natural comedy in together with, creating sets and bringing it to life.
Fantastic. How about you, Brent?
Awesome. Yeah. In college, I was doing a lot of like silly sketch videos with friends and just stupid. Like we didn't know what we were doing. We had touched the camera for the first time and we were doing a bunch of dumb stuff. And then I moved to LA after graduation and I looked around and I saw that there's like a community of comedy. I didn't even know people did this and were serious about it. And I saw that everybody was on stage. And so I jumped on stage doing stand-up, improv, and sketch, kept doing videos, and over time, they all kind of blended together, and it kind of informs everything I do now.
Fantastic. And how long you been doing that?
That'd be 8 years, I guess.
8 years?
Since 6 years stand-up, 8 years like comedy-related stuff.
Comedy related. Awesome. And Dan, yourself, buddy.
Mate, I'm the newbie, mate. I came out here on September 6th last year, but I ran front doors of douchebag nightclubs for about 12 years. So that's kind of like 6 hours of crowd work a night, just bouncing off people. Boom, 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 boom. And just basically roasting total strangers. I did that for about 12 years. So when the offer came up, when the idea came up to come out here and try this on the behest of a few people, I was like, all right, shit, let's give it a go and see how it works. I said, it's just like the nightclub, except no one's trying to stab you. So, yeah.
Unless you're really bad, unless you bomb really bad.
Unless you bomb really bad. But
Yeah.
I haven't had any, and I've bombed bad already, but I haven't had anybody try and beat me up for it yet. But,
Oh, dude, you're not a real comic until you've been stabbed at least twice.
I was gonna say I have a buddy where someone threw a beer
well,
bottle across the room.
I've been stabbed 3 times,
my
but it just
God.
wasn't being a comic.
Was it at a front door of a club?
I tell you what, it was the worst game of rock, paper, scissors you've ever seen, man. I'll tell you that much right now. That's what it was. Real life rock, paper, scissors. Doesn't work.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna roll into this, and you're free to speak whenever you want. This is for fighting reasons right here. Number one, who's most likely to wake up with a half burrito in bed?
I will.
Oh,
Me.
man.
Me.
I will.
This fucking guy.
I want to hear why. I want to hear why, brother. That don't mean shit, dude. That don't mean shit. I want to hear why.
Why? You don't know why? I'll tell you why.
You got a burrito.
Oh my God.
He's going to
If
bed
he pulls
with
out a
that's
burrito, I'm gonna
why.
die, dude.
I'm saving jalapeno poppers for later. That's why I'm
Oh,
in the
yeah.
burrito market.
You won. You got that. You got
Yeah, he
that.
takes the trophy for that.
You guys even voted for it. All right, all right.
Yeah, he can have that one.
That's in case I feel peckish later.
Awesome. All right, one more right here. Who's most likely to have a 3-hour conversation about space?
Oh, that's me.
No,
Because
that's not it.
I think I've been listening to the Joe Rogan podcast way too much. And because as soon as you listen to 2 episodes of the Joe Rogan podcast, all of a sudden you know everything about physics, jujitsu, psychedelics, the history of West African chimpanzees.
Bro,
You
I
can't
checked. I've watched Joe Rogan show. I've watched the Joe Rogan Experience like a handful of times because he's like, I think as a comedian he's funny, but his show is so fucking out there. So
Oh, it's crazy.
the last one I watched, he was talking about he was talking about the brain. Him and this guy are talking about the brain and cancer and cell reproduction and how it's on a 7 to 10 year reproduction cycle. And so I just chimed in and said, yeah, I read an article about this about 10 years ago about how our body regenerates about every 7 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got just fucking nailed with hate. Just hate.
Oh,
people
dude,
replying like, you don't know shit. Make sure you
Yeah.
read this article. You're a dumbass. Don't listen to the Joe Rogan.
I was one of those guys. I was a commenter. I wrote that comment.
I'm sure you did.
The worst thing is right now is every troll in the world is at home doing nothing except watching Rogan.
Right.
So they're all just sitting there just.
Right.
No.
No one else? You don't.
Well, well, it depends on. So you guys were talking about space, like in the air. I'm talking about social distancing space. I will talk for 3 hours about social distancing space. I want people to get away from me. Get the fuck away.
Have you had to go out? Like
I have, unfortunately. I went to the grocery store and people are not adhering to the 6 feet and all that stuff. So
let me ask you this, Margot. Does your grocery store have one-way signs?
No, one of my stores did. One of the stores that I went, you only could come in this way, or the aisles only one way. They do. They do.
So I noticed that 3 days ago. I went to the grocery store, and all of a sudden, my grocery store put down the little labels on the ground, like "Go this way," and you got to go back and forth.
Yep, go around.
And then half the motherfuckers are going the opposite way, and I'm just like in my mask, just going.
Yeah. Can you read?
I want to say something, but I don't want to be like that guy.
My dad already has a nickname at his grocery store. That's how much of a dick my dad is.
Oh wow!
He has that many. Every time he goes there, he's a confrontation, and he's like, they're one at a time inside, and he's there with my mum, and they're a couple, and he goes, well, could you just let two of them out and two of us will go in? They're like, no, one at a time. He goes, we're gonna run into each other when we get in there. They're like, you're not taking this seriously, sir. And he goes, yeah, I'm not taking this fucking seriously. So yeah, I mean, if you want social distancing, you go to Australia because we only live in about 9% of that whole fucking country. It's 91% uninhabited. So if you want to find open space, there's plenty of outside.
And Dan, just so you guys know, Dan's from a town of like 25 people.
31.
Oh wow. 31. Oh wow.
Double digits.
31.
Double digits.
Yeah.
You do a show for your whole town.
Yeah. If you're referring to a map dot, that is exactly what my hometown is. The map dot.
Wow. No.
Yeah. That's with one street called Middle Street. Makes no fucking sense.
All right, guys, are going around the room. Real quick. I'm going to give that point to Brent because this was space. I did like your response, Margot.
He could have it.
Yeah.
He had a more detailed response, so I'll give it to him. I'm a fair player. I'm a hard player, but I'm fair.
I know. You said you're competitive, so.
I am. Very.
So serious question. We'll start with Brent. Why did you start comedy? I like asking people this question.
Oh man, I guess I grew up with a single mom. It was just me and my mom, and growing up during like the kind of tail end of the Chris Farley era, that was like we watched that all the time. That Whose Line Is It Anyway? I remember the first season of Last Comic Standing came out, and I was like, I don't know, young, like between 10 and 13, I think. And I would write stand up when I was like 10 and 13 years old. And I would never like perform it, but I'll just be like writing jokes just for fun. And I that just kind of stayed with me over the years. And I've been a diehard SNL fan forever. So I think just because I was like kind of raised with like a comedy sensibility, it was always just really fun, and I was drawn to it.
How about you, Dan?
Mate, public speaking was never a problem for me. It hasn't been for the last 12 years. I consider myself an extrovert. So an extrovert in public and an introvert in private. But I mean, breaking the bridge across the comedy, mate, it seemed unrealistic. And if you'd asked me a year ago, I'd have probably told you to fuck off. But a few things changed. I had a little bit of a health scare, and thankfully nothing happened out of it. But it was enough to worry me to tell me that I should concentrate on something that I like rather than something that I need. Yeah. And that's why I came out here and just chucked my whole life in and came out here, and hopefully it'll pay off. But it probably won't, but hopefully it will.
It will. put your head down and keep working hard, dude.
Well, the good news is I was broken living in my car before the pandemic, and now I'm broken living in my car, which is kind of the same thing. So really, it's not that hard. It's easy to transition across. It really hasn't been that much of a shock to the system. I was already there.
How about you? How about you, Margot?
Well, I come from a very funny family. We always laugh. My mom hates that we laugh so much for over nothing. And my family is just funny. Like I said, I'm a naturally funny person. People just laugh at what I say. But then I wanted to figure out how to do that. So, like I said, I went to Greg Dean's. But let me back it up. I was in love and still in love with the comedian Monique. I have never seen a black fat lady doing comedy until I seen Monique. And when I seen her, I said, you know what? I can do that too. Because everybody was small. Everybody was skinny. They looked good. They looked cute. Back in the day, they had the s'mores. They had heels on. And, they looked really, dainty and cute. I was like, I can't do that. I'm not going to go up there and do that. But then when I seen Monique, I was like, okay, if she can do it, I definitely can do it. So that was my start.
I agree with what you're saying, Margot. I mean, I'm the same way. My life's a bit of a shit show off the stage, but when I'm up there, I feel like I'm bulletproof. You can't get me up here.
Right.
This is where I need to be. And I'm wearing a bulletproof vest up here, and it doesn't matter what I fucking say.
Exactly.
You're listening to me right now.
Yeah.
And whether it's funny or not, but let's hope it's funny.
Yeah.
But at the same stage, you've got that confidence while you're up there. And I think that's an empowering thing to have. And that's why I try to push people, if they want to give this a go, to give it a shot, because it really does feel amazing.
Definitely. And I'm like I said before, I keep saying that, but anyway, I'm an introvert, and I would have never thought that I would ever be on anybody's stage speaking in front of anyone. I've been to college. I had to do presentations. That was terrifying. But to actually be in front of an audience and telling a joke, and when I first did it, the adrenaline was crazy cool and crazy because I was like, oh shit. What is this feeling?
Yeah.
What is it? So
if you guys haven't heard my story, what brought me to comedy, just so you know, is anger management, court order, 26 hours. So I got in a little bit of a thing with like this little 18, 19-year-old girl driving a Mercedes G-Wagon at a Starbucks, and I ripped her windshield wiper blade off. Just being honest.
That was your anger? You was angry?
Yeah. So I just saw rage, and so after paying for my
coffee, goddamn.
Yeah, so after paying $6,000 for my cup of coffee,
wow,
my wife said, you know what, you need therapy or go do stand up, because those guys are always working their shit out on stage. So I chose stand up.
Smart lady.
Yeah, cheaper.
Did you make her your manager? She should be your manager.
She should be. She's a busy lady. So
are you saying I can work out my problems on stage? Oh, my material's about to take a whole different direction now. We're good. All right.
Awesome. All right, guys. Who's most likely to spend all day interpreting a text?
Me. Margot. I do. I can't stand text, because I will read into something that you're not even saying. I will reinterpret it and reinterpret it again. And then I just end up calling your ass and like, what the fuck you say? Why you just call me?
Do you add? Okay, so are you like my wife, where you add tonality to someone's text? Because she'll read text and she'll be like, "Oh, Stephanie said," and I'm like, try reading it without doing that, and maybe it'll sound completely different. Maybe she wasn't angry.
Right. No, I'm that way.
At least you people can do voice to text. I can't. My fucking accent doesn't translate from any of this shit. Even the Google Australia filter can't do it.
There's a Google. There's an
Australia filter.
There is an Australian filter.
What do they do? What do they do? Add a kangaroo emoji at the end of every sentence?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I've tried, and you still end up with these lost in translation text messages that are fucked.
That's hilarious.
I mean, did you deliberately put this topic up after the afternoon that I just had?
No.
I got a strange text today offering me a job in Canada that I had to pay for to get on the goddamn to go to the show.
My God.
I'd be reimbursed I think the guy wanted me to cash a check for his Nigerian cousin while he was up there for $10 million as well. But basically, I'm like, I know this is a trap because if you need a comedian in Canada, you're not fucking calling me right now. I'll tell you that much right now. There are comedians everywhere.
Right.
But
but willing to pay
that was the text I
$200.
had today. Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm the opposite.
Just 200.
Just 200. I think I'm not the most likely to interpret a text. I'm probably the most likely to ignore it, or you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll just see somebody. They'll send me a whole paragraph. I won't even read it. I'll just write. I'll just say, say something shorter.
No.
There's too many words.
Yo, Brent.
If you're gonna say that many words, you need to speak it and just send it to me so I can listen to it on my own. You can't be writing essays.
Dan and I had this conversation just like 3 hours ago.
This 3-word text shit where I get like 19 notifications for you to send 3 sentences of shit.
Yeah, that's bad too. Sum it all up in one line. You get one line of text.
One line.
It's 40-year-old women on Tinder that send those texts. I'll tell you that much right now.
And me, Dan.
And him. And you.
Yeah. So I did that earlier to Dan. Dan's like,
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, he was like, why are you sending me so many texts? And I'm just like, it's like 2-word, but I'll do a whole sentence in like 5 different dings.
You suck.
It's fucking insane. I was trying to drive.
L-O-L.
I've got the guy from Canada. I've got the guy from Canada texting me on one app, telling me I need to send $200 to Timbuktu, and I've got this dickhead hitting me with a text every 5 seconds on WhatsApp. I'm just losing my mind trying not to crash into shit. Fuckers.
Yeah, but I'm the same way, Brent. If it's long, if I have to scroll, I move along.
Yeah, man.
Call me.
You know, I'm not your TA in college grading your essay. I don't need to be reading more than
unless it's from a show producer. If they're sending me information, that's different.
Right. See, yeah, I was writing a note right here.
In which case, I will break that text down for like 3 weeks. I'll call my mom. I'll be like, "Mom, did you see that text? What do you think? Do they want me? What do we think?
What are they saying? What are they saying in this? Did they say they want
messages?
Me? What time? Yeah."
All right, Margot, I'm going to give you the point on this one. Overinterpret your text. All right, who's most likely to have a dark side?
Oh, I have a dark side. Not because I'm black.
I was
going to
say physically. I went for the pink side. Yeah.
See, we said dark side. No, I'm a Virgo. So we are sweet as pie. We are super duper uber sweet molasses until shit goes down. And then the dark side, I have a alter ego. Her name is Shay Shay. You don't want to fuck with Shay Shay. Shay Shay, baby. Let me tell you.
I'm sorry, Shay Shay. You're going down on this one, unfortunately.
Wait, Dan. Does Shay Shay ever come out on stage?
Shay Shay sometimes come out on stage, but not Shay Shay comes out when she's behind the wheel when she's driving, and these fuckers be driving the way they be driving.
And so you rip off a windshield wiper at a Starbucks or what?
Yeah, I would. Shay Shay would. She'll pull both.
Throw pennies out your window.
And the door.
A half-eaten banana. That's specific.
Yeah.
Mate, I spent 12 years as a fixer and a bouncer. I can't even hide from the skeletons in my closet. There's so many of them. They're in a whole fucking house over here. So my dark past, I'm just turning it into material because if I've said it on stage, then no one can bring it up later and go, but you fucking did this to me. Yeah, I spoke about it 4 weeks ago on stage over here. I'm not denying it because it all fucking happened. It all happened. I'm swearing too much and my dad will be angry, so I've got to stop doing that. But yeah, no, you just got to Google my name for nightclubs around about 2013, and there is a list of bad blood
and 3 stabbings.
So, like I said, I'm still here, man.
I'm barely here. Shay Shay be getting about to get our ass beat. Like Shay Shay be getting about to get our ass beat. That's how bad her mouth is. She talks a lot of shit, and I have to back it up. And I'm not a fighter. I'm sweet as molasses. Shay Shay's a bitch.
Oh, that's a hard one. What do you think, Brent?
Honestly, I'm gonna have
You better
nightmares
pick
about
Shay Shay.
about a monster named Shay Shay.
You better
dude.
pick
Yeah,
Shay Shay. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Sorry,
I
Dan.
remember
Winner's
faces.
going to Shay Shay.
Shay Shay remember faces.
You know what? I probably pissed off a lady named Shay Shay down the line somewhere. I guarantee you.
All right. How did you get into? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, deja vu.
What's your favorite? Who's your favorite? Not who's your favorite comedian, but what's your favorite like comedy topic? What do you like to talk about the most on the stage? And let's start with Dan this time.
Me? Oh shit. My favorite topic? Stupidity, man. It's everywhere. It's an epidemic. You think this is a pandemic? The stupidity epidemic is worse. It's all around. That's the best thing, man. Is if you need material, I mean, it's everywhere. You just got to look on the news these days. Just look at Al Jazeera. Look at what France News. Look at BBC. It all comes out. I mean, I was watching the other night. I was watching some bloke, and he's interviewing the cook at an Indonesian bat restaurant. And you can see the fucking guy who's trying to hold the microphone out like this. And this guy's just bump, 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 bump. There's bats and shit flying everywhere. And blood and shit. And he's like, and he's interviewing me like this. And this poor guy's like, I think this might affect our business. I'm not quite sure. And he just bang, 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 just fucking bat shit everywhere.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Hilarious. I'm sitting there dying laughing and people look at me like I'm insane. Because I'm sitting in my car laughing at my phone because some poor bloke in Indonesia's just covered a cameraman in bat juice.
That's awesome.
But I think you can't go wrong with humans at the end of the day. I mean, they give you the best material in the world. Just people just acting ambivalent to what's going on.
Right.
So, how about you, Margot?
My favorite topic is myself. I talk about anything and everything about myself. I'm just funny. No. Yeah, it's just things that I experience, things that happen to me throughout the day, the month, the year, things that irritate me, like people that drive and don't know how to fucking drive. That's when Shay Shay comes out. It could be my physical appearance. It could be that I'm PMSing. Whatever it is, it's usually about me.
How about you, Brent?
Well, I do a lot of characters and impressions, and
cool.
aside from stand up. So when it comes to that stuff, I like to find like a silly behavior that somebody does. Like, Jimmy Fallon is just always laughing, right? He just laughs at everything. So like finding whatever those tiny little behavior twerks are and just blowing them out of proportion when I do an impression is really fun. And in stand up, I mean, I went to college in Santa Barbara, so I was around like a lot of like bros, you know what I mean? Like bros, dude, right? And so now, being years removed from that, I still have this like bro inside me, but now it's like a mature bro, right? It's like I'm like a socially, I'm trying to be like a conscious bro. I'm like it used to be like, dude, that chick is so hot, we should smash. But now it's like, dude, that chick is so hot, we should support her right to choose. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, I'm trying to find this balance now of like staying true to my bro self and being like a mature, conscious bro at the same time.
Bro.
That's awesome.
Bro.
Bro. I think my favorite topic so far has been like my family stuff. I talk a lot about my kids, especially my son, because he's a little Jeffrey Ross, likes to burn people, and he's only 6. He's smart as hell.
It's gonna work out well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hopefully like I'll do like have a mediocre career in comedy, and he'll just kind of ride that and then just take off because he's funny. But we're just trying to really push him. Like my son and my daughter, try not to shut them down. You know what I mean, verbally. Like and yeah, it's hard as a parent not to do that sometimes, but I like the shit talk.
Well, I guess it's hard to do when you're stuck in a room with them for a month. I mean,
yeah.
in the house
with them.
It's
You better
been.
just have an open mic with them every night.
I know. I should. That's a really good idea. But like, I don't know, man.
Set
I'm
up
like
the unicorn and the decapitated panda head behind
he
you.
puts
as
that
your
shit on
audience.
every day. I'm like, dude, that's mine. Take it off. Believe it or not, that stuff's mine. All right, guys. I don't write this. Who's most likely to be a little bitch?
Me. I'm a bitch.
He just jumped me.
I'll give y'all that. Y'all could be the bitch today.
I'm a
I'm
bitch.
sorry. I got no bitch left in me. I'm coming right out like a sledgehammer.
All right.
I could give that title up. Go ahead.
I'm more like the sledgehammer. That's like the inflatable one that you win at the fair.
Ah,
You know?
the one that goes.
Yeah.
The inflatable one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, who's most likely to be allergic to everything?
Me. I am a hypochondriac.
Oh no!
I am
You must be
allergic to-
having a terrible time.
I
No shit,
am.
dude.
I walk out of here very armed. I put on all the gloves, all the masks, all the scarf, everything, because I don't want the corona on me.
Are you gonna get freaked out if I cough into the camera?
I might. I just might. I am a hypochondriac. I'm
I have to do home surgery after this on something on my
What
arm.
the?
I got a little owie up in here.
See, look at that. I'm gonna wash my
What?
hands after this. I don't know what. It is.
I think something bit me a few nights back and it kind of got a little infected, but I'm not going to the hospital. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay. I hope they
I'll
didn't
cut my own
bite
fucking
the
arm.
corona person.
I'll cut my own arm off right now.
Dude, speaking of corona and bed bugs, I was in Corona, California doing a Spartan race, and I was doing 2 Spartan races, so I slept in a hotel overnight. And it was the only time in my entire life I let someone else book a hotel room. I stayed in the hotel room, and I woke up the next day. I was covered head to toe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Freaking bed bugs. And
Yeah.
and so I was prompted to look at their reviews. First 10 reviews, all 1
Bed
star.
bugs.
Bed bugs. I'm like, bro, dude, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you look at the
No.
reviews, man? So then I'm like, he's like, well, why didn't you? And I'm like, the fuck, dude? So I came home and I couldn't walk. I wouldn't walk in the front house because I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac too. I'm like, and I was afraid I'd bring that shit into my house. So, so I went to like a clinic or whatever, and they gave me like this gel I had to wear in my hair, head to toe, covered my body in like a Vaseline to kill this.
I had to do the same thing. I did the
nasty.
same exact thing like 2 years ago. I was doing a show in like Missouri or something, and it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah,
That
I
shit
can't.
sucks.
I can't imagine that like, being a comic
hey.
on the road. All the hotels you got to be in.
No.
Hold on for a second. Margot, have you ever had bed bugs before?
Never. Ever.
Good. Me and you are good. We'll stay away from these filthy motherfuckers over here.
Don't get near us, dude.
Oh my God. I would burn every sheet. I'll probably burn my body. Every sheet, every clothing, every cloth, everything in my house, I would burn if I seen a bed bug.
Well, I did. Like I had like nice bags in my in my car. I threw them all out. I threw everything away.
Good.
Clothes,
I was going to
everything.
ask you. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got fleas. I got fleas in the army working in the jungle. That'll piss you off. But I mean,
No.
Margot's getting a point, fellas.
Yes, I'm gonna definitely take a shower after this.
All right. Who's most likely to touch everyone excessively for no reason?
I'm a hypochondriac.
To touch?
I ain't touching nobody.
Touch everyone
Nope.
excessively for no reason.
I knew a guy in college that could win that. No, not me though.
I would say maybe like 20 years ago, like I would like drop E or something and go in a club and just like rub on people. You know, I think that's how I met my wife. But now I fall into the germophobic genre. Like I'm like keep 6 feet away from me before and after this bullshit. You know
I think anybody who was a germaphobe before this thing is now just walking around with a big fucking "I told you so" shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Howie Mandel.
No one's giving Howie Mandel shit anymore. Everybody's like,
nope.
Everybody's coming up to Howie and going, "Do you have a spare mask, Howie, or some gloves I can borrow?"
Right.
He's just like, fuck off.
Yep. I'm wearing my gloves. I'm wearing my mask. I'm wearing all that after all of this. I'm still going to wear it. I can't.
Yeah.
No, I actually got a parcel full of PPE coming in from Texas tomorrow. So.
Okay. Good.
Oh wow.
Come visit.
Oh, don't worry. I've been getting by on just bullshit for the last 3 weeks. I've been running around with one pair of gloves that I just keep wearing just to make everybody feel better that I've got a pair on.
No,
I've been wearing the same mask for like 2 weeks.
No.
All right. Serious question time, and anyone can start this. What's your favorite Tiger King quote?
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh man, I've seen the movie. Let me see.
No, the first husband, the short little tiny one, when he said, "I was straight when I got here." I'm sure a few people have said that. Yeah, you were straight when you got there until someone said, "Oh, you can live here rent free and we'll give you a bunch of meth," and then you're like sucking dicks. So
well, he did it for the meth. It must be a good drug, dude.
It must be good meth.
Very good.
I don't know what good meth or bad meth is. I don't know if there's such a thing as the difference between the two, but whatever the hell he was coming up with.
I got one. Do you remember when he was campaigning for president? Probably he had those condoms with his face
on it.
I swear to God, I don't know if somebody gave him this line. It is the perfect line. He was going up to people giving out condoms, and he was like, "All right, here we go. These are condoms with my face on them. Wear one or you're screwed." I was like, dude, I would 100% vote for this man. And if I use the condom, I would have to use like 5 at the same time, probably. But
dude, there is a billboard of him right now on Sunset and Crescent Heights, right on the corner there. If he knew his name, if he knew his head was on Hollywood, he would lose his shit.
He would be so.
Oh, he knows. I bet he knows.
I bet he knows.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
For
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still has tons of supporters.
Yeah.
And all that money is getting siphoned off to Carol Baskins.
Yeah, that's my line. My line came from Carol Baskins. It may not be verbatim, but when she said about the husband, when they're blaming her for the first husband's death, and she was like, "Oh, I would have to put some something like salmon oil on his body for the tiger to want to eat it." And then she was like, "Oh, well, I could have just grinded him up into the meat grinder." And then they showed a meat grinder grinding meat.
I remember that.
Man, you know that lady bedazzles the shit out of fucking everything in that house. You know that for sure. She's just, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's rhinestone cat sweater somewhere.
Rhinestone.
So I asked this question because I honestly thought everyone was going to say, and I kind of hoped everyone would just say, "Fuck Carol Baskins."
All right.
Because I think I heard that more than anything in that entire miniseries. Like every single episode, it was like at least 10 times you heard him, "Fuck Carol Baskins," and then like his buddy would say the same thing. Yeah, well, that bitch Carol Baskins, fuck her.
What was his business partner's name? The guy with all the affliction shirts.
Jeff Lowe.
Jeff Lowe.
Okay, Jeff Lowe's dress sense. I've been playing a game with a friend of mine in Houston who runs nightclubs as well for 5 years now. We've been playing affliction chess on Twitter, where we sit there and take a picture with an affliction shirt like this, and we have to basically out affliction each other. We can't go to NASCAR events and we can't go to UFC.
Oh,
but I found a guy with an affliction jacket a couple of months back, and I talked to him and I told him, I said, "Listen," I said, "this is going to seem weird because I couldn't get a picture with him." I said, "My friend designed your jacket for affliction." I said, "He's a fashion designer in LA, and if I take a picture with him in his jacket, he's gonna love it, man. It's gonna be awesome." So I got a picture of this guy smiling like an asshole, fucking tailored affliction jacket.
Awesome. That's checkmate.
Right.
That's exactly what I said. I texted my friend. I said, "Checkmate, I win. Game over."
That's insane.
But the random pictures where you've just got the back of the shirt and the guy doesn't know his photo's getting taken are fantastic because I'm usually hammered in a nightclub going, "Look at this shit."
All right. I know Brent's going soon, so this will be the last one for Brent. But who's most likely going straight to hell?
Shay Shay.
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
Straight to hell.
I'm going straight to hell, and I'm bringing Carol Baskin with me. God damn it. Carol Baskin's probably already there.
Damn, that's a good Tiger King, bro.
Yeah, that was a good one. You won that one. You can have that one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got that.
Also, well, Brent, before I know you're gonna head out here pretty soon because you got another show to go hit up. I'd love to, if you have any advice for anyone, anybody checking out the show on stand-up comedy or just being creative and making stuff, because I know you come from a long line of, just being creative and making videos.
Dude. I mean, ask questions. As I still ask questions. I'm no master, and you never will be. The day you become a master is the day you fail, because that's the day you don't have anything new to learn. So It's like you keep asking people questions that are doing better than you, and a form of asking questions is watching other people that are better than you and trying to take what you can learn that they did well, see what they did bad, and you got to study the greats if you really want to be great. You know what I mean? So that's number one. Number two is eat more ice cream. I don't think people eat enough ice cream. I think that there's a lot of ice cream in the world, and there's a lot of different flavors that people haven't tried yet. There's probably a Tiger King flavor out there right now.
Not a Tiger King.
And it's just waiting for you to try. And if you eat enough ice cream and you drink enough water and you ask questions, you're going to be good.
Awesome. Hey, bro, I love your shirt, by the way. I just saw it says Phuket. Elephant Sanctuary. I went there a few years ago.
Dude, so did I. I was in Thailand. This is part of me being a conscious bro, dude. I was out there like, bro, look at these fucking elephants, dude. So fucking peaceful.
I'm not riding them. I'm not riding them, bro.
I'm not riding them, dude.
Are you trying to tell me that there wasn't a redneck with a standalone mustache and a pair of fucking tiger pants out there trying to get you to suck a dick to hang out with an elephant?
I'm the Elephant King. Brent Exotic Elephant King. And these elephants would be nothing without me.
Oh my God. Bro, that is so funny. Yeah, it was actually the day after the election when Trump won. My wife and I hit a plane to Thailand for 2 weeks, and everyone was like, "Oh, yeah." We met a lot of people out there, expats and whatnot. And they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" We're like, "The U.S., man. We got the fuck out."
Yeah.
But the elephant sanctuary was amazing, man. That's really cool. Cool, dude. Well, real quick before you bounce out, where can people find you?
Yeah, it's just at Brent Pella on Twitter, Instagram, Brent Pella Comedy on Facebook. I do videos every week, so mostly two a week, especially now that we got time. You know? So check it out, and check out all these people too. That's part of this. Watch everybody's stuff. Everybody got good stuff out there, and there's room for everybody. So check it all out.
There is, man. Well, thank you for joining us,
man.
Brent.
Thanks, Brent.
Unfortunately, you're tied with Margot. So should we do a tie? Should we do a tiebreaker? You got time for a tiebreaker?
Yeah, let's do a tiebreaker.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Who's most likely to get convinced strangers are celebrities?
Convinced strangers are celebrities? Get convinced strangers. Nah.
Next.
Yeah,
who's most likely to actively prepare for the end of the world?
Me. I would. Sure.
Yeah. You need to do that. I'm the type to die immediately. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm the dude in the horror movie walking under the bridge and something falls on him and he's dead. That's it. I got no preparation.
No, I'm the prep. I prepare. I prepare.
I got a buddy in Texas who went and bought 10,000 rounds of ammunition. I said, "Did you buy any food or water?" And he went, "No." I said, "Well," he said, "but if I've got 10,000 rounds of ammo, I'm pretty sure we can go and take somebody's food and
buy
water."
some food.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. People in Texas are crazy.
That's crap.
I'm from Texas. That's why I rip windshield wiper blades off cars.
Crazy. Crazy.
All right, points going to Margot. Sorry, Brent.
Awesome.
Yay! Yay!
Brent, thanks for joining us, dude. We'll have to check out your
Bye,
show,
Brent.
dude.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I'm down to do the same time. Good to see you guys. Have a good
Have a
one.
great show.
Later, bro.
See ya.
Later, mate.
All right, now it's just the
All right.
three of us. Now it's more
It's
intimate.
the three of us. Hey. Okay, here we go.
Dude, so I was at Universal right before this shit happened for my son's birthday, and we were leaving the park, and we walked through City Walk, and there's Bubba Gump shrimp or whatever, one of those like seafood. I think it's called Bubba Gump shrimp, and
Yeah.
I mean, imagine being the guy dressed up as a giant shrimp. There was a giant shrimp out there, and the best part was he was just doing this, and my son is just like, why is he rubbing his nipples? Like, dude, like my son's 6. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Right. What's happening?
You like shrimp don't have nipples, son.
Awesome, guys. Hey, let's see. I wanted to ask you guys, like, how are you staying creative through all this like quarantine stuff? Are you writing? Are you your TikTok videos? Like, what are you doing to keep the creative juices flowing?
I am doing a lot of TikTok videos because to keep it going, keep the juices going. And I'm thinking. I haven't put pen to paper yet, but I came up with a lot of jokes that I need to get out of my brain and write them down because I created almost a whole new set, but it's up here and that's not going to do me any good because one thing can happen and that's going to go way out the window. So I am looking forward to possibly this weekend writing down some stuff so I can get it on paper.
How about you, Dano?
Mate, I did a live stream event about 2 weeks ago. I did 25 minutes on a live stream of stand up. What I'm trying to do is basically challenge myself every 3 weeks to do 20 minutes of brand new material. So I've got another one of those on Wednesday. They're kind of targeted at a lot of people in Houston, but that's where I'm from. And a lot of people out there are getting them. And it's worked out. It's put me under pressure to write more stuff. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and just binge watch my life away. I'd rather come up with brand new stuff and brand new premises to work on. And this whole online way of doing things enables you to do that because you can have your notes to the side and you can work through various amounts of topics and almost explode premises live on the spot. As long as you know where you want to take it, you could just go bang right at it, and that's helped a lot for me anyway. Whether or not it's any funny at the end of the day, who knows? But if people turn up again to watch it again next Wednesday, I'll find out.
Dude, I mean, I had the pleasure of tuning in to that live. I made sure that I checked it out because I know you, and you did fantastic. It was a great show. To be honest, like 25 minutes flew by, and it was funny because you were at the end. You were like, "Whoa, that was already 25 minutes," and you didn't even realize how much time flew by, and it went fast. But you were pumping through your material, and but you also had the pauses, and you read. You were very receptive to.
Well, that's the thing. It's a whole different medium. It's not stand up, and it's not podcasting at the same time. It's got to feel like a conversation with the one person who's clicking on the screen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're talking to a group of people as well. Whoever figures out how to harness this media properly first is going to do a right out of it, and that's what I'm trying to do. Because when the clubs come back to being open, I'm not going to get the opportunities I got before they closed, because every established comic in the world is going to want to get on stage, which is going to bump me back. So I've got to make sure I've got this whole live streaming thing under control, because that may be the only medium I have for a while.
Well, you can always come to my show. You can always come on my show.
I can't wait to come on your show. I should have came on your show. I feel bad because I blew one of your shows off. I think it was May 28th.
Yeah.
And just so I could do the Comedy Store on the 14th, and my show got canceled the day of, and I'm like, fucking son of a bitch.
Yep, that's when it all happened.
Yeah. But I couldn't get mad because I'm sitting there watching my show get canceled, and I'm watching people lose entire tours when I was working at the Laugh Factory. So, but I think,
it's funny.
It's funny. Now is,
it's funny you say that because earlier today I was looking at, because we're always like looking at comedians or working comedians. One thing I like to do because I'm online is to look at people's websites. And for example, we had Brent on the show, so I did go to his website, and it said tour dates. So I was just like, tour dates. So I clicked on it, and all the shit is still there for the year. And it's
Sad.
just, yeah, it's sad. Like, he's already lost, I mean, probably 20 shows since this all happened, and just a ton of more that are probably you're gonna lose out on, and and it sucks. But that's why everyone's shifting to the online mediums.
That's what makes me more and more angry about that thing I have to deal with from this afternoon, mate. Because it's preying on people who've lost money.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'll
it's
deal with
preying
that
on.
issue.
It's preying. No, okay. It's preying on people.
I'll get some of those skeletons out of my closet and deal with that issue when I
Look,
get a
bro,
chance to.
I'm sorry. I agree with you, but they're preying on people, right, who've lost money, of course. But they're also preying on idiots. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yes,
like, you
true.
guys straight up be an idiot to say yes to, hey, I'll pay you $200 now so you can pick me up in a few days to take me to Canada, do a show in a nice hotel, and you're gonna pay me money. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's as dumb, dude. That's just as dumb as those emails I still get every single day that say, "Hey, I'm barrister Joe Schmo from England, and I want to send you $1 million, and I'll let you keep 80%.
Right.
But you need to send me your bank." Like, who? I'm sorry. Those might have been realistic to someone who was 60, 65 years old 20 years ago. But the fact that I'm still getting them means.
You know what's going to happen, mate? The best thing that's going to happen, I'm going to save this number in my phone as thieving prick. And then one day I'm going to run into a promoter somewhere who's going to go, "Hey, take my number." And I'll be like, "Oh,
it's you. It's you.
I haven't got you, babe. You."
And there's going to be some poor fuck who accidentally picked up the number, because the phone got deleted a long time ago.
Then we'll be taped to a chair and finding out the hard way. And you'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah, you had the wrong number. You had the wrong number for real.
All right, guys. Who's more likely to get popcorn? Who's more likely to get a popcorn bucket from a trash for free?
Me. I have a joke that says that. Okay.
To get your free refills.
The free refills. Yes, I will go get it. I'll go get the popcorn bucket from the trash can at the movie theater so I can give a free refill.
No, thank you.
That's funny. Like, so again, the germaphobe thing, I couldn't do that, but I'm a popcorn freak. I like to eat. I go through like a bag of popcorn 4 nights a week. That's like,
Dude,
that's my thing.
I dropped food in the ground in the army and ate it. So, but I still won't do the popcorn thing over the trash.
Now this is the trick, because you don't. Now I'm a germaphobe. Remember that. So I'm not using that popcorn bucket, and usually somebody else go get the bucket for me. But anyway, they give you a new one. They give you a new bucket. You bring that one up there, and if they don't, you drop it on your way out. When you're walking away from the concession stand, you drop it, you step on it, and you're like, "Oh my God!" And they'll definitely give you a new bucket.
Dude, that is hilarious. Or drop it on your way walking up, and just be like, "Oh shit."
Oh,
yeah,
can I get a new one?
Can I get a new one? I need a fresh one. Yeah,
I need a fresh one.
That I can
do. And they'll absolutely give you one.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Please try it. It works.
Maybe I'll make a whole series of YouTube videos on how to con. Dude, that's awesome. I gave Margot a point for that one. Sorry, Dan. Dan, you're like falling way behind, bro.
Come on, Dan.
Who's more likely to sing but shouldn't?
Oh no, I can sing, so it ain't me. I can sing.
Me. I'm a karaoke fiend, man. You get me in karaoke with about 6 bourbons in me, and I will fuck up a bar.
but you're bad. People are like, shut up.
Mate, last time I was in New York City, we were trying to get the Uber driver to draw a map of Texas with the route, and we were doing our second pass through Central Park. We almost got him to make the map intersect, and he realized what we were doing. He thought we were trying to buy drugs, and I said, "No, there's already drugs in the car, man. We already got drugs." And so I said, "We're just trying to draw this map of Texas," and he goes, "Get the fuck out of my Uber," and threw us out in front of a karaoke bar.
Oh, wow.
And I was already trying to impress this chick, and I'm there, and I was up there for Veterans Day, Australian Veterans Day. So I end up laying. I thought to myself, it was one of those karaoke bars that doesn't have a stage. It just give you the mic and let you walk around the bar. And I'm like, oh, I decided to do a Michelle Pfeiffer and get on the bar like Fabulous Baker Boys, and I thought that was sexy and funny, but it just turns out it was just a really big bloke lying on the bar and knocking people's drinks over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so good.
He can have that one.
I mean, then Then she told me she was married and lived around the corner, and I just said, "Look, a taco truck," and then I jumped in a cab and ran away.
That's awesome. Hey, real quick, I just want to give some shout outs to people. We got Alexander Balta, we got Lady Fresh, we got Free Spur. So one question we had from Free Spur was, what's your best and worst joke? Do you guys want to tell your best or worst joke? I think probably my best joke was the one talking about my son burning me, right? So I did a whole joke. I've done that. It's been very receptive. I've kind of incorporated it into a lot of my sets just because it's something that really happened and it's just funny and people like it. And it's for you, Free Spur, it's about my son. So he walked in the room while I was changing and I was in my underwear. And he walked up behind me. I heard him giggle. So I jumped around and I went, "Oh, I'm a wrestler." And he immediately responded, "Yeah, sumo wrestler." And I really hurt, man. Right. And then the next morning he walked in and, I was a little upset, probably because of the fat joke the night before. And he says, "You're a crabby fatty daddy." And, that's probably like one of my favorite things to talk about is my son. And I love the fact that he rips on me. And I can't wait till he's older because I don't want to break his spirits now. I do mess with him a lot. But when he's older, it's on. It's on. I'm going to just tear into him.
That's hilarious, man. I think my worst joke was the one I shut down an open mic by telling a story about pistol whipping two people on a bodyguard job, which I thought was hilarious because it was the first time I'd ever done it, and I basically hit these two dickheads, and then there was three of them actually, and I just went bang, bang, smack, smack, and they both passed out. And I looked at the third guy and I was like, "Holy fuck, dude, that's just like it happens on TV." And I thought that was hilarious, but it turns out apparently in today's sheltered environment that some people were a little offended, or not really offended, but terrified. I think is probably a better choice of words. But
terrified of you?
Crickets in that open mic. Terrified of just being in the room at the time. About I think being an accessory to whatever the fuck I was talking about.
Yeah, you come across as scary sometimes.
I'm not trying to, not at all.
I've hung out with you, and you come across as scary. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be that at all, man. I used to, but not anymore.
You should smoke more
weed. We'll see how we go with that. But my best joke, man, my best joke is still my longest joke, so I'm not going to tell it, but you'll have to tune into my YouTube to go find it. But it's from jumping out of a plane with no underpants on.
Yes.
Jump in a pair of short shorts, barefoot with no underpants on. I did a tandem jump from 15,000 feet.
I can vouch for that.
If you want to know how it turned out, go to Dan Green Comedy on YouTube.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Good plug.
Not a bad one. And if you really like it, you can come tell me on Instagram at Dan Green Comedy as well.
Oh, okay.
If you really like it, you can get him some meth, and he'll.
But then I'll be off sucking dicks and farming tigers, and it'll be no fun.
I didn't want to say it.
He said it.
Oh, you know, in the ashes of this, in the ashes of all this shit, that someone's going to open up a bar in West Hollywood called Tiger King when this is all done.
You know it.
For sure, someone's going to do that.
I'm going. Oh, yeah. Dude, I've gone to a lot of gay bars when I was younger. My wife and I lived right there off of Melrose, right by Earth Cafe, and so we would go up West Hollywood all day long and like go to the bars. It was awesome.
There's a bar in Houston called the Guava Lamp, and they used to have karaoke on Wednesday nights. Karaoke's phenomenal, dude. Used to go in there with a couple of bartender buddies of mine, and just sit there and just. You always take one or two people that are freaked out by gay people, and just be like, "Well, you're going to enjoy this," and just sit there and just doing shots all night. And the bloke's like, "Oh, but you're in a gay bar, man." I said, "Well, I don't have to fuck anybody. I'm just sitting there. We're enjoying ourselves. It's a fun night." I mean, yeah, it's hilarious.
Karaoke.
Karaoke was always good. Yeah. Every time my buddy went for a piss, I'd walk into the bathroom behind him and slap him on the ass, and he'd jump about 10 feet. I'm like, "Nah, man, it's just me, buddy. You're all right."
We got Charles Dallo. He said, "What's your worst time with a heckler, and how'd you deal with it?" You guys have any heckler experiences?
Margot?
Yeah, I had a heckler experience, and it actually was someone that was a guest of mine. So I was recording my set.
Was one of your
One
guests
of my
like
guests,
someone you
yes.
know?
Someone that I knew.
Wow.
Well, they didn't know. They were with someone that I knew, but they were there for me. So why are you heckling me? But you know what? He got drunk, and he was heckling everybody before I even got on, and we was shushing them. But then when I got on there, people don't understand. We can't hear what the fuck you're saying. It sounds like whoa, 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 whoa. Like we don't know what you're saying. But he just heckled me, so I just went in. I was like, I know you're not with me, and I just Shay came out, and it was over. I shut him down. The table shut him down. Everybody shut him down. It was a mess.
Me personally, I've had people talk during my experience. I think I was at the Improv, and I got about a minute and a half into my set, and there were two women sitting in the very front, like almost directly in front of me, who were talking and had their menus up, and they were just talking to each other. And then finally, I was like, I did this. I was doing this joke about being in my grandpa's basement and how everything was covered with porn posters, Playboy posters, and I was talking about how the walls were just dripping and dripping. Like it was a very sexual set, and so I was like, and everything was dripping, and then there was some laughter, not huge laughter because I'm not I guess I'm not amazing enough yet, but but then I looked down and they were still talking, and so I got off stage and I walked over and put my head in between them while they were talking, and I was like dripping, and then they both like looked back over their shoulder at me, and they put their menu down and they listened the rest of the time. That's how I dealt with that, but I wasn't heckled. Like someone didn't like yell out at me.
Dude, I did a 45-second set a couple of years ago in Houston to get rid of a heckler in a bar we're at. My buddy was doing an open mic in there, and it was going really well. But there's that one lady in the back of the room, and she's on a mega touch with her girlfriend, just yap, won't shut the fuck up while people are talking. And all you can hear on stage is this lady in the back of the room. And I said to my friend, I said, just give me 45 seconds. He goes, you're not a comic. I said, just give me 45 seconds, please. It's an amazing joke. And I get up there and I get behind the mic and I go, knock, knock. And everybody's like, ugh. I said, knock, knock. And they're like, who's there? I said, shut the fuck up, lady. And yelled at her across the room, and everybody stopped. And she stopped to stand right at me, and then everybody just went, put the mic back in and got off stage, and that was the end of me.
I might have to use that, bro. That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
That's one of the.
It worked.
What's
well,
up,
it turned
out
that she was the wife of the
owner,
fucking soccer team in Houston, the captain, who was in the bar as well, and he didn't say shit when I told his wife to shut up. So
he's used to it.
I mean, yeah, he was like, "Thank you."
That's something he wanted to say.
Apparently. Sorry, Chris, what were you saying?
Sorry, I'm like trying to chat with you guys, but then we got a lot of chatter in the live chat, so I'm just trying to like answer questions and stuff.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry. So someone said, this guy Alex goes, this question's for you, Chris. Did your son ask you if you wanted your wham burger delivered by a wambulance after he confused you for a sumo wrestler?
The wambulance.
That's awesome. Piss off, Alex. Piss off. Keep watching, but piss off. Awesome.
Keep it coming, Alex.
All right, guys. Who's more likely to have sex while watching TV?
Oh yeah, I would. I'll have sex forever.
But what would you be watching?
I don't like romantic stuff. Anyway, a scary movie, definitely. I love scary movies. That would be awesome.
So you're like watching like Jason, like what is it, like Friday or something, Friday the 13th, and then like guys going at it, and then you just like you scream, so you tense up, you're like, ah!
Yeah, I'm like, it's me. Ah!
What the? I mean, I love movies. I'd love Goonies, but I don't know. That's not. That would be weird.
I would love it. I love horror movies. So yeah, I would have sex watching a horror movie.
How about you, Dan?
See, well, my problem is I currently reside in my SUV, so it is kind of tricky. We're using the old Tinder move. You get them back to the car, and they go, "Well, that was a great date. Can we go back to your place now?" And you're like,
We're here.
"We're here.
The bedroom's in the back.
Would you like to be in? We're in the lounge room right now. I put the phone up here. Look, it's TV."
Okay.
But no, man.
But then you could drive to like a drive-in if they still exist.
There's one or two.
Yeah, I think there's like one or two. Like maybe like out in Pomona or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. But you know what? At the end of the quarantine, man, there's going to be some very, very lusty women out there. If I was ever going to smash the front seat of the car, that'd be the time to do it.
See, if I was single, I'm not. I'm very much not a single. But if I was, I would come out of this with a lot of humor. If I was out on a date, I would ask the woman like if she shaved, like her legs and stuff I would get like that personal because we just dealt with some shit that no one's ever dealt with.
No,
and like,
never.
Yeah, so I think it would just be fun to get humorous about it, you know?
Yeah, if I was single, I wouldn't probably be able to go out on a date for another like month because I know the nail shops are going to be crowded and, you know, hair shops, everything. So it would be like another month before I would go out.
Like, hang on, let me put some filters on. All right, cool, now we're good.
I don't know. I think like when this is all done, it's going to be a great time to buy your airplane tickets as fast as you can because you're going to get them dirty. Like right now, I'm already like shopping like Hawaii tickets and stuff like that.
I'm flying home in September. I'm good.
I'm sorry, dude. That got pushed back. You were supposed to go back this month.
Yesterday.
You were supposed to come back here or leave?
I was supposed to fly out yesterday and I had to push it back to September.
Oh my gosh.
That sucks.
Yeah, so hi, Mom and Dad. Sorry.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Australia.
Just want to address something that's probably been annoying the shit out of people for the last 25 minutes. When I get tired, I've got two lazy eyes and they tend to do this shit. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at, I'm trying to look at you. There you go. But if it looks like I'm looking over here, it's just because I'm tired. And there because I'm tired as well. It's an old prescription. So yeah, it's like watching an episode of The Muppets over here. I'm just fucking all over the fucking place.
Got the googly eyes.
Yeah. Well, it works out in staring competitions. That's about it.
All right. Who would most likely survive in the woods with just a hatchet?
Hell no, I'm not going in.
I got that one.
I was gonna say I would probably be Dan.
Yeah, no.
I picked up that machete I bought. That machete I bought the other day at Home Depot is pretty handy right about now.
I was gonna say I might give you a run for your money on that one, but I'm not in this game.
I think shit's about to pop off in LA because I went to 3 Home Depots to find one machete and there was 3 empty racks at each one, and I got the last one.
Wow, dude!
There's a lot of machetes out here.
There's a lot of machetes out in the street.
Wow, that's why I'm staying my ass in the house. I'm not getting caught up with the machete.
Dude, that's crazy.
I sold my guns to pay for gas to come out here, so I'm like, well, got to grab the next best thing.
I have a question, Margot. Who like comedians? Like, who do you admire? Like, who do you look up to? Who inspires you?
Monique, for one, inspires me. I love Dave Chappelle, and I love Cat Williams because I like the way he's just so animated. I like the way he does his comedy. And I love Ellen. I love Ellen as well. I like Ellen.
She had didn't she drop a special like 4 months ago or 5 months ago? A couple of months ago.
It was good.
Yeah, I think I saw it. I just it was weird seeing her on stage just because she's been doing talk shows for so long.
For the longest, yeah.
And her style was very just very natural. And it was very much like just talking. It was
like her monologue in the beginning of her show. That was just like just longer.
Yeah, no, but she was just very natural and just seemed really good.
Yeah.
How about you, Dano?
Doug Stanhope and Norm Macdonald. I really, really love their stuff. particularly Stanhope, even though he's retired now, but he's still putting podcasts out. But sitting out there in Arizona. But yeah, Norm Macdonald is hilarious as far as I'm concerned. As far as people around here that I run into often, Adam Ray, I really like watching his stuff whenever he
He's
comes on the
very
Laugh
funny.
Factory. His crowd work's amazing, and I mean he'll just sit there and just take it by the scruff of the neck, which is kind of what I'm bouncing towards, is trying to do more crowd work than jokes. So
Yeah,
that seems to be something I'm natural at, and I want to keep heading in that direction. So watching a guy who does it all the time is helps a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I grew up on watching Gallagher, and I loved Emo Phillips. I don't know if you guys know who Emo Phillips is, but had this very weird, just he'd talk really slow and very dark, demented stuff that would come out of his mouth, and I loved it. But that's the stuff I grew up on. Now I really relate. I feel like I relate more to like I love Adam Ray. I absolutely love Adam Ray. But I love Joe Coy because my wife's Filipino, and I really relate to a lot of the Filipino stuff. And I love Gabriel Iglesias because he's just a good storyteller. I love storytelling.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better at storytelling.
Yeah.
But I love that type of humor, and I have so many stories in my life. But now it's like, how do you take those stories which are funny, but then how do you condense it and make it funny and really punchy all the way through? That's the difficult part.
Yeah, very.
I think the hard part is trying to insert whoever you're telling the story to into your story at the best perspective that they could see it from. It may not be from the level that you're looking at it. You need to put them over here and let them look at it from this angle, but give them your perspective. And I think that's because otherwise, otherwise some of my stories they get lost on people. I'll pistol whipping 2 Croatians in a hotel room. So, I mean, what you gonna do? Still got paid.
Good.
So how about you, Margot? Like, any advice? We're gonna wrap up here in a little bit. Any advice that you would give to people? I know you're producing shows. Any advice you might have there, or just advice on stand up in general?
Just keep doing what you're doing. I started producing shows because I didn't like what I shouldn't say this on camera in front of people because somebody may be here from the Comedy Store or the Laugh Factory. But the
I hope not for you. I hope so for me.
Right. I hope they are. But for what I'm saying is that I don't like the rut. I don't like the race. I don't like that I have to go and try to stand in the line and then go and be, do 5 minutes of comedy for the king of somebody to say, yes, you can be a part of our establishment. I don't like that whole thing. So I just want to be funny, and somebody see me being funny, and they say, "Okay, yeah, we want you to be a regular at the comedy store or the Laugh Factory." I just want that to happen, but I know they have like ways and things, and I don't have time for those things. So, which is why I produce my own shows, and I go out and I do a lot of other people's shows, hoping that one person may be in one of those audiences that would say, "Hey, there she is. We've been looking for you." So.
That's the thing, though, Margot. I don't think that person leaves their office.
And that's the thing now, for sure.
So now you have to go and find that person and put yourself in front of them. And I think that's the thing. You just have to make sure that when you do get that one shot in front of that person, you've got your shit right.
Yes, you're right.
I've had occasions where I've been in front of the right person and fucked it up, and they're like, "That was cool. This is what you need to fix." And see you in 8 months, and you're just like, "Shit." All right.
Yeah.
I'll go get better, and I'll come back.
Yeah, and that's what I use this opportunity to, work out some. I've had the same set forever, so now this time that we have, I can rewrite a whole new set, and when we come out of this darkness, I'll be happy to do a new set or add to my set because I'm looking forward to doing an hour set.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah, I think for me it's like I'm just trying to I don't know. I'm gonna drink a beer and think about this.
Okay.
Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, I don't know about that. I have to think about that a little bit, but
well, it's cool. In the meantime, I've decided to take a correspondence course at the Paris School of Mime, so that's going to be my next fucking thing that I'll be doing around here. Just...
Yeah, I don't. You know, honestly, I haven't been in this that long, so it's like I've had a few people just off air like say like, oh, like, you know, do you have any advice? And I'm like, honestly, I'm so new. Like I think my advice is just get your feet wet. Like you just have to start. I was when I first started writing, I was doing a comedy class, Greg Dean as well, and I just at first I was really petrified of getting on stage and doing comedy. Now I'm not really afraid of being in front of people. I used to be years ago, but after years of business school at USC and everything, like I had to be on stage so much or be in front of an audience doing presentation stuff. I kind of killed that, but being on stage now, performing the comedy, and having jokes and trying to have some type of structure, like that was really scary for me. But after I did it the first time, and I realized like, oh, I didn't do half bad, and you know, people weren't laughing at me saying "go to hell" or "go die" or something like that. Like that's the fear, right? That's the fear.
I think, but I think that's the misconception people get when they start stand up is you're going to walk into an open mic and get that kind of vibe that you've seen in movies where the crowd's going to heckle you and stuff like that. And when you, in reality, it's going to be 8 people on their phone just looking at their shit like this and not even acknowledging the fact that you're up there.
Exactly.
But the key is you're up there and you're doing it, and that's the main thing. So
exactly.
But then reaction for a while.
But that's the open mic. But then when you get on stage in front of people, and you know it's going to be people, they're buying drinks, buying food. They're there for a reason. They're there to laugh.
Unless you take the bullet and go out first in front of a whole bunch of family and friends, and they're just like.
And I've done that. I did.
It sucks, and you just like.
I did Jack Jr.'s competition last year at the Ice House, and we were in the main room. And I mean, that room sits like 350 people or whatever it is. And and Jack came into the green room, and he's like, "So, Greg Kidder, you're first." And I was just like, "What?" and at that point, I'd never been first on a show before, and this was a competition. So for me, I was like, I really wanted to go on to the next stage, so I could hopefully, book some more shows out of this, but I did okay. You know, I had some laughs and stuff, but I didn't like bomb. But
that's like that last open mic I did at West Side before the quarantine started. I was sitting up the front, and I didn't realize that the entire crowd had left while I was waiting to go up. I was 23 or 25 comics, and when I walked out of the green room and walked on stage, I realized that there was 12 people left, and they were sitting on one side of the stage and the other side of the stage, and there was no one in the middle. So now I just had to run up one side and then run down the other side and then run down the other side and give jokes because who the fuck are you going to talk to? They're buried in it, and nobody wanted to move because they're pricks. And so now I'm doing cardio and I'm doing stand up, and look at me, I don't like doing fucking cardio very much. So I'm borderline dying trying to deliver jokes. Like, hold on, let me talk to these people for a second. Run down the other end of the fucking stage and talk to them. I tell you, it was fun. And it sucked because the next poor bloke who got up goes, well, I was just going to come up here and bomb, but now you went and did something funny. Now I got to do something funny, and I'm like, it sucks. I'm like,
so it looks like Tamika Tyson said their favorite comic is Richard Pryor. I have to say he was amazing.
Yeah, very amazing. Yeah,
he was an amazing comic. The characters he would create. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I didn't know much about Richard Pryor until I jumped into comedy. Besides his movie stuff, and so when I started looking at his stand up, I was like, holy shit! Like he was just amazing. Like the character builds and everything, and he would just get lost in these characters, and you thought he was someone different. And yeah, I was very impressed with that.
I grew up listening to Richard Pryor on a record player because my parents would wait till we went to bed, and then they would play Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby record, and they thought we were asleep.
And you could hear it.
To the jokes, yeah.
I think I watched
I didn't hear Richard Pryor till I was 14.
Dude, I think that's how I watched the Poltergeist movie back in the 80s. It was like they put me in bed, and then I heard some noise, and I crawled out and like watched it over their shoulder from the hallway, and it was scary as no, not recommended.
You know, they didn't play around with movie ratings back then. Now R-rated movies are like, but back in those days, if a movie was R-rated, you're like, this will ruin your childhood.
Yeah,
and you're like, shit.
Hey, I just want to shout out Aaron. Aaron's on my TikTok live, and he's on the live chat here on YouTube. So what's up, man? He's on 2 devices or something.
Hi, Aaron.
So people are like jumping on it. So I have two things running at one time. But I told people over there to jump in here.
You're a pro. Go ahead.
I'm trying, Margo. I'm trying.
No TikTok for me. I can't dance.
You don't have to dance. They have this regular stuff.
I get worried. I get worried because I'm so old and old in the tooth now. If I turn up on TikTok, I keep worried that my first friend's going to be Chris Hansen. Go on there and go, hi, how you doing? What brings you to TikTok? And I'll be like, fucking bye. Book it at the door.
Quarantine brings you to TikTok.
Hey, one more. Who's more likely to go missing within 15 minutes of going out?
Nah, I'm really good.
I've had days when I used to drink. When I used to drink, I tell you, we used to have what we call sunglasses at night Sunday, and sunglasses at night Sunday. If you wear glasses, you know, and you're a man, you don't go out on a Sunday afternoon with a pair of sunglasses and these, because you're going to lose some or break something. Yeah. So you've got to make a commitment to what you're going to wear all day. And it's Houston, so I'm wearing sunglasses. But if you see me at 4 a.m., that means I've been drinking since 2.
Oh, wow.
Because, I was out all day, and now I'm wearing prescription sunglasses in the middle of the nightclub at 4 in the morning because I gotta fucking see. So, and I'm trying to tell people that they're amber, and I can see inside at night, but it still makes you look like a douchebag wearing sunglasses inside a nightclub. You can't get away from that. But yeah, anybody who saw me wearing sunglasses at night on Sundays was like, sunglasses at night Sunday, yeah, you're going to lose your way. So,
well, that point will go to Den. I think me personally, like, I'm the type of person, when I go out with friends, and yes, I'm married, but I still go out. I get lost in the sense of I'm just having fun, and I just walk off. I start talking to random people, and I'm just all over the place. And people are like, "Dude, where are you?" I get the text message, "Hey, where'd you go?" I'm in the other room. That's where I'm at. Like, come find me. Like, I don't need it. Like, some people like to stay, like, kind of like locked at the waist with their group of friends. That's not me. I'm like,
I used to get that all
that's
the time.
how I found my wife.
I used to get that all the time in the nightclubs, man. Be always some girl coming up to me at 2 a.m. Have you seen Sharon? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think Sharon's here. We lost Sharon, goddammit.
She's in the trunk. Yeah, she's in the trunk. You want to join her?
I didn't have the heart to tell you. I think Sharon went home with this dude about 2 hours ago. You fucked up and lost your friend.
Yeah.
She was a bad Karen. By the sharks.
She was a bad Karen. She was not a good helper.
No, room full of crocodiles, and they picked her off like a wounded wildebeest. A nature film.
Wow. Hey guys, so thank you so much for being here. I want to start with you, Margot. Where can people find you online? Where can they find everything Margot?
Everything Margot. First of all, thank you for having me. And you can find me on Facebook at Margot Evans. Margot with a T. Margot. T is silent. And then on Instagram is, I don't know what my parents are thinking about, but anyway, they messed me up for life with that. And then Instagram, I am Miss MSME Comedy, Miss Me Comedy. And then you can find me on TikTok at Margot Evans.
And I saw you followed me on TikTok.
I did.
I'll have to give you a follow back.
Yay.
How about you, Dano?
Mate, again, thank you for having me. I mean, this is my second time on Kidder's Comedy Corner. I'm stoked about that. You can find me on Instagram at Dan Green Comedy, and you can find me on YouTube at Dan Green Comedy as well.
Yeah, and I'll have everyone's information listed below too on the video, so everyone will be able to find
if this quarantine lasts any longer, you'll find me on the corner of Sunset and North Laurel, just sitting there doing stand up in the fucking street. That's probably where I'm going to be.
We'll do
With a big
comedy
piece.
for meth.
Oh, will do. Jesus Christ, man! Stop saying that.
Meth.
I'm not on Tiger King, man. I don't have to be that kind of guy.
And he's in Hollywood, so watch
I'm
out.
good. I got all my teeth that are in there. Trust me, that's not my that's not my vice.
That's the sign right there.
Yeah, whenever you meet someone who's missing the side teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an issue.
I just
the first ones to go.
I just don't understand why you see that, and then you decide, you know what, I'm gonna go try it anyway. Like,
right.
Okay, maybe it's like you know, you try a drug and you think, oh, I'll try it once and I'm never going to do it again. And that's the reason. But then all of a sudden you'd have it and you're like, oh, this is awesome. Fuck the teeth. I'll get implants.
I don't need those.
I'll get implants.
Dentists are expensive, man.
Yeah, implants are stronger anyways. So I've heard.
Well, that's why my mum always goes on about my teeth. She put braces on me through school, and then I went and played 9 seasons of rugby without a mouth guard. So,
okay.
Whoops.
Yeah, wasted her money.
so anyways, I want to say thanks everyone. There was a lot of chatter in the live chat tonight. So if you joined us, thank you so much. Margot Evans, I love you. I love you, Dan Green. I love you, Brent Pella, who left us.
Love it too, mate.
I know he's doing another show. But thank you so much. We're live every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is Kidder's Comedy Corner. Make sure you follow and sub the channel and hit the bell notifications so you get all our videos and all our lives and all our updates. So, guys, thank you again so much. I will see you on stage soon enough, I'm sure.
Yes, soon, hopefully.
Happy quarantine.
Thank
happy
you,
quarantine.
you too.
Ciao.
All of you guys. Bye.
See you, mate. Bye.